What is the color of your personality?
First of all, we're going to have the doers. These are people that are more goal and rational oriented and are active, are very direct or extroverted. And we're going to talk in detail of each one. Then on the bottom, we can see we have the motivators or yellow. And then we have on the left, we have the stables or the green personalities. And on the top, we will find the analytical or the blue personalities. First of all, we have to be aware that we have different types of colors ourselves. It's not that we are just one. We want to identify any of the characteristics that we have common to the different colors. And we have a little bit of everything and a lot of something. We are just a combination of all the colors that we're going to be talking about today. And something very important, it's for us to embrace it. Embrace, okay, who we are, our strengths, our opportunities. And now that I've embraced them, how can I be my best version of myself with who I am, with what's in me? And now let's get to see exactly how does this work. It's important to observe the intensity of the color we have. And what does that mean? That means that the higher the number it is of the color, it means that you are most likely to show the characteristics of that color that you have scored the highest. And having it in the lowest of the numbers, it only means that you are least likely to show these characteristics of these colors. Now, having something into a balance right here, like in the highs, it's a positive thing, it's a strength. However, if you manage to go beyond that line, like overutilizing your characteristic, it becomes a flaw or an opportunity. So if I have, for example, certain amount of control, it's okay. If I have a little bit higher, maybe it's good, depending on what type of thing I'm doing. But if I'm an over controller and I'm controlling all the time, oh my God, it becomes like too much, okay? So any strength overused, it becomes a flaw, okay? So have this ruler in mind every time that we get to talk about the different colors, because we have a little bit of something probably more than well, not probably, we do have more of some things less than others, but try to observe where is your characteristic. Is it very, very high? Is it middle? Is it low? Are you overusing it or you're underusing it? Maybe you have it and you never use it. So where are you? And this is some of the very important ingredients to observe in ourselves, the intensity. We're going to start with the colors. First of all, with the red. These are people highly oriented to results. These are people that like to go straight to the point. They don't want to lose the time and the details. They're highly resoluted. They love challenges. They're very confrontational. These are the kind of people that if they don't agree with something that you're doing, they'll just say it up front and they'll let you know what, I don't like it. I don't agree. Because they are confrontational. And it's not that that's a good or a bad thing. Remember, keep in mind that we have this ruler, and depending on how intense we use it, it becomes useful or not. Now, another thing to observe here, it's that the characteristics I'm going to be talking about, it's of a pure color. I'm going to be talking about extreme red, extreme yellow, extreme green, extreme blue, to be able to emphasize on the characteristics, okay? So imagine this red person, it's highly confrontational. It's going to, like, if it thinks different than you will know it. And if it thinks according to somebody, people will know it as well, because they're very, very loud about the way they think or they feel. These people are also organized very quickly, and these people love to correct the wrongs. This is the typical person that, I don't know if this has happened to you, but imagine that we have here Anita, and it's talking to Pepita, and they're talking about something. And Anita says, oh, you know what, Pepita, I need to arrange my house. I want to paint it in yellow color, but I haven't found the yellow. And suddenly here comes the red and says, hey, I know that color. I know where you can buy it. Here's the telephone. Here's the address. Call. And then it's like, okay, that's a red. That's totally a red. The red, it's so like that. It wants to help other people, even if they haven't asked for the help. It's a red and they want to just jump in and get to help others. That's their nature. And that's what it means by correcting their wrongs, you know? So well, there's Anita and I and Pepita talking, and there comes the red right into it, helping her, right? Right, Anita? Okay. So now we're also going to see that the red personalities are very practical. They are very goal-oriented. They can keep the focus and the goal. They don't like for people to get lost in how to do it. They just want to have the result. There are people that can have heavy workloads. They can start at 6 a.m. and end at 1 p.m. At 1 a.m. the next day, and they're like robots. They're happy, they're doing it because they're doers. They just want to get things done. They have a high need of control. What does that mean? That means they have to know what's going on and what's going to be happening. And probably why did that happen? That's not so important for them as what's going on right now and what's going to be happening in the future. They're very concerned about control. They want to know everything. The higher the ruler, the higher the control. They're visionaries. This is something very interesting about the red. They can see like way ahead. They can see like, oh my God, there's an opportunity. And they describe it, and probably nobody else understands what they're talking about, or they sound kind of cuckoo, you know? But no, they're not cuckoo. It's just that they're so visionary. And these are people that won't give up. So if they see something, they'll go for it. And they will be very quick to take decisions, to make any decision they need. They'll just go fast because they don't want to waste the time. They are highly driven. This means that if they have a goal, they'll go for it. I mean, they will just get it. It's not a question of are you going to get it? The only question they have is when they're going to get it. They're very productive. They're very willing to speak out. They are very hard to discourage. If you start letting a doer know, oh, you know, to the red ones, you know what, that's going to be super hard. I don't think you can achieve that goal. They go like, heck yeah, of course, I will, but everything is against you. Yes, of course. And they know, they might know that, but they're not giving up. They'll find the way. And they're very optimistic as well. And there's something very interesting about this color. They have a very low need for friends. They don't really care much about friends. They have a few very good friends. If you have a red friend, that's a good friend because they're going to use all these characteristics for you. They're very good friends, but they don't care about being having a lot of friends. They don't care. It's not in their mind map. It's just like, okay, good. They just want to make things done. They just want to do whatever they have to do. That's their main focus. So they're so objective oriented that they get lost in whatever else. And they're very independent. So even though they don't have that many friends, they accomplish things, and they are highly driven. This is the red color. We're going to be looking now at the yellow ones. So the yellow people, it's mostly very creative. They're very cheerful. They're super enthusiastic. They're very good negotiators. Oh my God. If you go to a flea market that you can bargain, you can recognize a yellow one, or you can recognize yourself if you're a yellow when, I don't know, the person is saying like, you ask, okay, so then how much for these flowers? And they say $10. And if you're a yellow, you'll say, 10? No, but you know what? This is too expensive. 8. And they're like, no, 10. And eventually you'll negotiate. And sometimes if you're like a very, very, very high yellow, you will end up paying only $7 for those same flowers that they were 10. Impressive, because they are very good negotiators. And they're very persuasive. And that's one of the reasons why they can negotiate so well, because they're very persuasive. And they might already explain and get related with the person that's selling the flowers and become friends and whatever it takes. But they will do a very good negotiation. They're highly energetic people. You will see that they have this energy flowing around, and they can share this energy all the time. They have a very interactive styles. They are these type of people that touch you. If you're a yellow, you like to touch people while you speak. For example, if you're talking to any friend, and this is Pepita, my friend. So if I'm a yellow, and, hey Pepita, how are you? And you touch their shoulder, or you hug them. I mean, it's you really like to be very interactive, and you want for the people to look at you. You want to make sure they're understanding, or at least listening to you. So then you're right there talking to them. So how was it? Did you like it? And they'll go, yeah. Very interesting that if they start talking a lot, the yellow won't allow that. It talks so much. So if the person that it's in the other side starts saying, oh yeah, the party went great, then the yellow will come up and, yeah, well, whatever, but blah, 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 blah. And we'll keep on talking about what the yellow wanted to talk, because they're very interactive. They're super spontaneous. And this is something very interesting about them. Sometimes they are like, talking to someone, and out of nowhere, they thought about something different. Imagine you're talking with somebody about the business, and out of the blue, they say like, hey, I think I left the stove. Oh my God. And it was like out of the blue. They're very spontaneous, and they will let you know. They'll tell it to you, and you're like, weren't we talking about the business? But that's how it's yellow. If you are this type of person, you can recognize you are, because you have this type of detail sometimes in your life. Remember, I'm talking about the highly, whatever color I'm talking about, okay? Also, they're very optimistic. They inspire other people to act. They're the life of the party. If they go to a party, you can notice, because they're like, hey, hello, and it will say hello to everybody. If they go into a room and it's full of people, they say hi to everybody, even the person that is over there, way back in the door of the entrance of the room, and they'll say like, hey, how are you? They'll say hi to the back, and they really are the life of the party. You can notice they go like, like the Miss Universe. Long, short, hello. These are the type of personalities that do this in a natural way. They're very good making networks with other people. They're such a good presenters. They're very intuitive. Oh, and this is so interesting, because the yellow, it's that type of person that if you ask something, they'll say, well, I feel. So, for example, if a yellow is talking about something that they don't feel very comfortable about, or someone they don't feel very comfortable about, that, for example, they say, you know what, I think Anita doesn't really like me. And you ask the yellow, why is that? I don't know. Did Anita say something? But I just feel it, It's kind of, no, this is just an example, of course, and I'm using Anita because she's my peer and she's right here in the webinar, and she's perfect to use as an example. So this is what happens with the yellow one. It kind of feels like, okay, it talks from the I feel, and sometimes, or probably a lot, it doesn't have data, but it's just that feeling that it has. I feel I should do this, I shouldn't do that. I feel this is happening. I feel this is not happening. Okay. Oh, there's Anita. I know. Yeah. Thank you, Anita. Yeah. Thank you, Anita. Thank you for being there for me in the examples. Okay. So this is exactly what it is about the yellow. And they're volunteers. You can observe, if you're a yellow, you can observe yourself, because you're wanting to volunteer for whatever, for the dog shelter, for the PTA, for whatever. I mean, something. They enjoy volunteering because that's a way to relate to more people, and they love people. They're very natural. They're very casual. They communicate in a very easy and natural way. They're very charismatic. They're entrepreneurs in a natural way. They will be like entrepreneuring, like maybe a new business. They will definitely be trying to make the most of any opportunity. They are very outgoing. They're very demonstrative, as I explained before. They will hug, they will touch. If they don't like something, they will let you know. I mean, if you're a yellow, you can recognize yourself. Like when you like something, it's like, and when you don't, you're like, no. And nobody even asked you. And probably you're not even talking. You're just like expressing your faith because, you know, they're highly expressive. So they're like, or if you ask a yellow, hey, did you like the food? They'll say, oh yeah, I loved it. If they didn't, no, you know, they will be very demonstrative. And they're very wide-eyed and innocent. There are people that if you tell them a joke, sometimes they have to think. Even there's sometimes you even need to explain them the joke. And after that, it's like, oh yeah. And everybody else was like, okay, that happened half hour ago. But this is because they're very innocent as well. And they're very, very expressive. What about the green ones? Well, these are people that are less prone to stress. They're very hard to stress. They're pretty relaxed. There are people that think that everything's going to be okay. So eventually it's going to be okay. So they're kind. They're very stress-free. They're highly organized. These people are super organized. They're very good people to have like management skills and do management work. They're very sympathetic. They're very adaptable. If you have a difficult situation, the green one, it's the one that's going to come and adapt, even though it's hard, it will be there. It's something very interesting about the green color is that they need processes. They need instructions. For example, if they open a new TV, I mean, a TV, everybody has seen a TV, right? You know how to power it on, power it off. The green, even though it has seen many TVs, used many TVs, they will want to see the instructions. They will want to make sure they're following the right steps. The higher the green, the higher the need. And then these the specific need. And they are also very efficient, and they like the other people, and they really accept it as they are. They're highly collaborative. These people are very willing to help you in any situation, good or bad, regular, it doesn't matter. They will be there for you. If you're a green, you're the type of person, you're there for anybody, like anybody. If somebody asks you for help, you will say yes. They have this administrative ability I was talking to you about a minute ago. They can organize any document, like the whatever. I mean, the drawers, the closets, whatever. They will be able to organize everything and put it into buckets. They're great listeners as well. If you want somebody to listen to you and you're a green, oh my God, the best person for you to listen is a green. They want to listen to you. And something interesting about the greens is that they are not very verbal. So even though they don't want to listen, they will, because they don't have nothing to say, or they don't have much to say. So this makes them great listeners as well. They're very patient. They avoid conflict. If they enter into a situation that they have to take a decision where they have to decide going with the right or going with the left, oh my God, they will have a hard time, because they want both. They want to be on the right and they want to be on the left. So really, they rather avoid the conflict. And also they're very conservative, and they are very dependable. They're very reliable people. They have some friends. And the interesting thing about the greens is that they are very, very good friends. It's like they can have many, not that many really. They love all the people. They feel everybody, it's kind of like close to them. But the friends, they're so good to them. I mean, people get to love the greens. If you have a lot of friends that love you, like really love you and do whatever for you, you probably are a green. They really make others feel they belong into a place. If you're a green, you're going to observe that you cannot help it. when somebody comes to you by any reason, to your business, to your house, it's like you need to welcome them, and really you welcome them with open arms and be warm, and how can I help you, and you really take care of that person. Now we're going to go to the blue one. Oh my God, this is so interesting as well. They're highly planned people. They're so precise. They're even though they're so precise, they're very sensitive. They don't like for people to criticize their job. They're very sensitive to that. They're very systematic people. That means they want to have something and then the other thing, then the other. They want to know what to do after what step. And they always do it the same way. They like to have that in mind to use it and check if there's something wrong. They want to have that system so they can go back and check what happened. They really like to be formal. You can, if you are kind of the person that worries a lot about your dressing, for example, to be very tidy, you know, very well ironed, and you like the details, that's a high blue in those parts, because it's important, the formality. You're not going to be feeling very comfortable going in jeans to a meeting if everybody else is in suit or backwards. You really need to be very aligned with the type of event you're going to, not because of fashion, not because of fun. No, that's the yellow. The yellow, it's because of fashion, but the blue, it's because, you know, this is the right way to go. This is the right dressing code. They're very reserved. They don't talk too much. They are actually not talkative persons at all, people at all. They love their rules. If they don't know how to do something, they'll ask, what are the rules of the game? Is it in a social way, in a personal way? These are the type of people that even to interact with somebody, they need like the step-by-step how to do it. The small talk, how to do small talk to others. They will buy a book. They will read like the tips of how to approach somebody, not to just go there and talk yourself out. No, they really want to have like the step-by-step. They are highly consistent and very accurate in their information, because they research so much, and because they need to have perfection or anything close to perfection. They're self-disciplined. That need of understanding, of knowing, gives them a very high self-disciplined characteristic, because since they have to know so much, they put themselves into it. And they're very logical, and they're very, very analytical. They are the people that can identify the obstacles that are in the way. So remember, I told you the red is going to go, okay, it's over there. That's the opportunity. Let's go there. The blue one is the one that's going to say, hey, wait a minute. That's way too far. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know, 9 obstacles in the middle. Plus, you haven't noticed that the time, the weather, the whatever. They're really, really good at identifying obstacles. The higher the blue, the higher the number of obstacles they'll identify. And if it's like, remember I told you when they overdo it, if they overdo the identification of the obstacle, they can get like paralyzed. I don't know, there's a very famous saying in English that too much analysis to paralyze. Well, because of the blues. That's the blues we're talking about. They will be, if they're very, very high, they will be able to get frozen because of the obstacles they have identified. Okay, analysis paralysis. Thank you. Exactly. Analysis paralysis. Exactly. Thank you, Anita. Those are the blue ones. Okay. And since they have to analyze so much, they get to ask a lot of questions. So if you're a blue, sometimes you will catch yourself asking too many questions. And then people start like, what the heck? What's wrong with her? Rocio, are you crazy? You have asked 20 questions for the same thing. And it's not that you're trying to be annoying. It's just that the blue needs information, needs to see the whole thing, needs to understand, where is this coming from? Where is it going to? What obstacles are in the middle? What's the rate of success? What's the possibility? What's the probability? They need information. It's not that they want to be like people that turn other people down. No, it's not personal. It's not that they don't like you. It's just that they need to have the information. And when if you're the blue one, well, and you recognize this in you, well, that's part of the blue personality. Also, these people are very diplomatic. They are highly focused on the details. They're the typical people that it's a huge Excel table with more than 2,000 cells filled out with numbers like an accountant. And it's the type of person that can see just immediately, oh my God, this 0.01, it's wrong. And it's like, seriously, nobody saw it. So if you're the type of person that identifies that, it's a very high blue in that part. Okay, it's high blue. And they love the charts. They love everything that has to do with data. They're very methodical. They always need to do the things in the same way. They need to be very prepared. They're super organized as well. And they are perfectionists, as I explained before. They need for things to be right. And even though when things are right, guess what? Not enough. They find the way to find the opportunity there. So everything's fine, but not enough. For a blue, it's hard to get enough anytime.
Here, it's a brief recap on the personalities and their colors.